A number of other leaders who have come. Tony Il-Wabe means I don't do bad. And in fact, once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
Once you join APC, all your sins are forgiven. That was Adams Oshomole. Now, you can see the reason why some people are moving to APC as of today. You saw the governor of Delta State, moving to APC. Now, AFC were up to him and then, whoop, Oga move. Remember the Akpabio scenario that year, 2019, right? When others were leaving APC to PDP, he left PDP to APC. Today he's the Senate president. With all the allegation. Case closed. What about the former governor of Abia State? Case closed. I don't want to talk about it now. Maybe some other days. But is that the reason for the defection from other political parties to APC? This notorious agenda against Nigerians is something that if Nigerians are not being careful, within the next 10 years, Nigeria will turn to Somalia. That is the honest fact. Nigeria as of today is no longer a multi-party state. It's a one single-digit party, and it is APC. Because when you look at the House of Rep, the Senate, almost everybody is in APC. And with this, they can easily edict our constitution and make anything that the president wants and achieve it at once. But let's not even talk about that. Let's look at the bill at the House of Rep member at the floor, where Bello, El-Rufai, is actually speaking against, also talking about the Igbo presidency. Let's take a listen.
Nigeria has over 400 different ethnicities. According to some studies, even more. My issue with this is the constitutional aspect. I think once eligible, regardless of the zone you are from, you are entitled to run for president if you feel qualified, or vice president. That's point one. So does that infringe on the constitutional right of a candidate or a citizen to participate in a democracy? Now, Mr. Speaker, this is also important because Honorable Clement's point about tackling an injustice is true. It is quite clear to those that want to know that as long as certain people from certain area in this country do not have the equal opportunity or do not feel what it is to be president, there will continue to be this mistrust and a sense of injustice. That is without a doubt. And while democracy is fair, it's simply the best option we have, but not the fairest. So there are certain regions that by population are at an advantage. So why not asking we discard this? I think it needs to take a lot of introspection. My Abon over there made a point. If you take this to the North Central, sir, who will it be for? Is it the Nupe people, the brilliant Ibibio people, the Igala people? In my little experience in Nigeria, whenever you do this, every tribe in every state will also come out and say it's their turn.
Now, with all of this that Bello El-Rufai is talking about, one should understand at this point in time that Nigeria is not heading anywhere. If we continue like this, we are heading nowhere. That is the honest truth. We are heading nowhere. Now, he has a point there. If we do north-south, what happened to north-southeast? What happened to south-south? What happened to northeast? What happened to middle belt or north central as it may be called or seen? Right? So, the idea of this rotational of a thing, let's look at meritocracy. That is the reason why the country is backward. Merit is lacking in every political position. Imagine the man who, handling JAM. Look at what is the menace going on in our JAM this year. You saw some student committed suicide. Our previous video, we talked about that intensively. So I wouldn't want to go back to that particular issue again. But however, Oshomole State, which is said if you move to APC, your sins are forgiven, and now everybody is jumping into APC, and there is a bill in the house for rotational whatever, this is just a way to make way for whoever that wants to remain as the president of Nigeria almost for lifetime. And the way we see this current set of people at the House, the National Assembly, they will achieve it for either Tinubu or whoever that comes in. Because, oh no, look at the state of emergency in Rivers State. What happened? there was no two-third majority votes, but yet it happens. So come to think about it. If they have two-third majority, what will happen? What Mr. Bello El-Rufai is saying will amount to nothing at the end of the day, because the two-third majority in the House will get it passed. Look at the recent cyber crime law. In fact, they are trying to silence all of us. By the time they pass that, that dangerous law with some of those clauses that I've seen, I'll be doing a video about it soon. In fact, all of us, everybody will close in channel, because anything you said will be used against you. If you cannot report, except the government what the government tell you to say is what you will say, because some of the clauses there are so dangerous in the sense that if you say something this way, all those allege, they will just carry and put one side. You are in trouble. So what do you make of this? Let's have this conversation in the comment section as to what Mr. Oshomole said. If you move to APC, your sins are forgiven. Really? And the rotational bill at the House of Assembly, what El-Rufai's son is saying, Bello El-Rufai is saying, does it make any sense? To me, it makes a lot of sense. To me, what Oshomole said, we should throw it into the trash. Thank you for watching.
Merit prevails, sir. I think part of the reason why this sense of injustice continues to go on is because of the failure of governance, the failure of social equity. So, Mr. Speaker, I implore that we do not set a dangerous precedent and put it in the Constitution without due diligence, which I'm sure the Constitutional Review Committee will do so. But while it tackles injustice, I must agree with the previous speaker. This could really set us back. And finally, unfortunately, we are but human beings. What happens in the event of death? May God bless the soul of President Umar Musa Yar'Adua. But I guess he passed away at a time when it was, quote unquote, the time of the North. And the vice president comes in. Is it actually fair to ask a vice president to step down in the event of the unfortunate occurring? I think we should still adhere to good governance and provide our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.